Good evening, Jens. You are Jens Kjaer Olsen, right? Okay, Jens Nerido in Second Life. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much, Letty.
Yeah, it's lovely, and well, I'm happy that you at least have come to my place here. I would like you to talk a little about your background. I know you have been in the teaching profession for more than 20 years and have a lot of experience in teaching how to make films in real life and also teaching how to make machinima in virtual worlds. So maybe you could explore this a little and tell us a little about that and about yourself, of course.
Yes, thank you very much, Letty. I became a teacher in 1976, so it's around 40 years I've been in the teaching business. My background is I was a media teacher and I was teaching filmmaking. I entered at a grade 10 school, the age group around 16. So they were allowed to enter Second Life when they stopped the 10th grade. My background is that I saw and noticed some Danish magazine about the European Avatar project. They were offering a teacher's course for 6 countries. That was United Kingdom, Austria, Spain, and Bulgaria. They wanted to do a teaching course for teachers. They had already made like all the research, so they had all the materials ready, and then they were searching for teachers to do that course. We were going to bring our own students in here and do a project, and that was very interesting. And of course, when I entered this, I just certainly got into taking pictures and making small photo stories, and then of course managed to find a screen capture tool so I could record what we were doing. Um, but it's a long story, and then of course I ended up doing Machinima, which was a new thing and a big thing growing with Machinima Evo, and which actually after Machine Evo, that was when Camelot was created.
There was one thing, yeah, I didn't quite catch, sorry. That is, you are teaching media, is that right, at your school? And is it a secondary school or what kind of school? You don't teach languages, right? You don't teach Danish or...
Yes. I was a language teacher at the same time. I taught English as a second language, and at the same time, I was a media teacher. So that was why it was very interesting for me to bring in my students here and my team, English as a second language at that grade 10 school. I especially like to discover that British Council had this Sherwood Forest. They had a quest, Robin Hood quest they made, which were fascinating for me and my colleagues to bring in our students in here and traveling, doing that quest here. And they had to take pictures when they were traveling around and make a photo story and then put some English text in there. We were supposed to do it with a team of from another school in Spain, but we were late in the timing, end of year exams and so on. But that was the vision. Because I think, well, also what we do in real life, we take pictures and we make a photo story. We can put voiceover and we put text, and I've been working with e-twinning for, well, when it started actually, more or less, and there we exchanged with a school, a grade 10 school at Brugge, where we made small 3 minute films where we were describing, the student were describing their life at the city and what they were doing in their spare time and things like that. So that was done in our English class, and every year we had a project like that.
Okay, so you actually filmed and exchanged that, or did you use photos rather than making films?
Both things, because when we were traveling in this virtual world, we took pictures, uh, and and uh, and then we also used Animoto, which was a kind of movement with the pictures. Um, I did some myself. Because I managed to find a screen capture tool. So I did some film telling my fellow teachers and the project, the Avatar project, how we were working, how we were navigating. So I made some myself. We didn't, the students, because we were running short of time, we didn't come to our core level 2 to make Machinima with a screen capture. They didn't do that. But step 1 was to make a photo story in that free tool
Okay, but you
called
did
Photo Story.
make machinima, right? I mean, I saw some machinima. Yeah. So
Yes,
how does
yes, yes.
that compare with real life um, filming?
Well, there are many similarities, first of all. Um, and but still you had to make the storyline, you had to make the setup, but there are many great advantages of working in a virtual environment where, because the scenery is very fantastic, you have a lot of possibilities, but of course if you our vision was that we were going to make a small film together with the Spanish school, but then of course you had to train and in all the details how to get those things to work, because well English is our second language, so both for Spain and for Denmark we had to make it very simple and in all details. But I think it's the same kind of work discipline you had to do when you make a machinima in a virtual world. There are so many similarities, and
And what about quality? I mean, quality's always been a question. And I remember with the jury, we had some arguments about the quality of machinima that had been produced in Machinevo, I think in 2014. So, what do you think about how much does the quality of a machinima matter when teaching with machinima?
it's a kind of well, we are in a virtual world like Second Life. We have professional
Yes,
filmmakers,
yes.
like in real life. They use it as a kind of educational tool. I don't want to compete with the professional. I use it as a kind of pedagogic tool because the students are very motivated making films and directing it and so on. So but it still consists of all the details like the professionals are doing. They are inspiring us. Remember when we had Machinima, we invited some of
Yeah.
the professionals like Dragster to come and
Mhm.
tell us, and we were teachers. We didn't want to we couldn't come up with that at his level. He's professional. We're using it in an educational framework, and that we should understand. And that your question were about the quality. So we are. Well, of course, when people watch a film, the students, they of course are very concerned about the quality. It's all right, but it's still number 2 because it's the
Mhm.
process they're using it in education framework. That's still most important for me, um, because I'm very much product orientated. It should be a
Mhm.
good product, but still, yeah, in the educational area. And
Yeah, sorry. I was wondering if you involve your students in the filmmaking in real life and in virtual worlds.
first, I must say that today I'm not involved in machinima making and in language teaching. I have entered a new area, but there's still connection. I'm working with a firm. I'm a consultant with a firm called Real Dream, where we are into 3D
Ah,
printing.
okay.
But at the same time, we can import our objects, our 3D objects, which we print out. We can import that into a virtual environment. So And the vision is that we hope in that way to get schools and students and teachers more interest in a virtual environment through that way. Because when I ended my avatar, the European project, there wasn't very much interest in it at schools. And since that time, that was 2011, I have been involved in making teachers courses uh, in Denmark and in a virtual environment like Machinima Evo and Village and in other areas to kind of promote the possibilities for teaching in a virtual environment. I'm mainly now working in OpenSim because OpenSim is much cheaper than Second Life, and there our firm Real Dream we have like a lab for our things, and the students can come in there. The schools we collaborate with. And that was why I'm very in 3D Les next SWAT, which had been working with OpenSim for years, and we have been collaborating with him. We had a Christmas project with school where we we actually we also filmed it. We made Christmas decorations. We printed out for a real life tree and we decorated it, and we at the same time in OpenSim in the virtual environment we made a Christmas tree, and then we imported the 3D objects which we have printed out as mesh into that area. But at the same time it seemed to fit all together, because still we need filming, we need documentation, and the students still, when they come in there and start building, they like taking pictures. All like that. And then of course next step, if they're interested in that, we come up to do Machinima, because it's more demanding. There's a lot of details in making films. You had to find a screen capture tool, you had to edit it, find the right things. Could it be in Camtasia cost, but there are other ways of doing it also.
Well, yeah, that sounds really, really interesting what you're up to now. So that it all kind of links together in a way, right?
Yes, I think so, very
Yeah.
much, because at the moment 3D printing is a big new wave in a global way.
So one of my last questions is, have you ever used a machinima in your teaching?
Well, I mainly have focused on teachers course, because I'm not direct teaching a class anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, consultant, I make teachers course. I ex- promote the possibilities by doing cinema. I did it only with my students at that time. Um, we of course when we are in that 3D OpenSim, when we make small films there, but not direct anymore.
Okay. Do you see any future in machinima, or do you think it's something that is dying out?
No, no, no. It has great potential, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in a virtual environment, if you come over the steep learning curve, how to handle things,
Mm-hmm.
you have many things you can do. You can make role plays, you can communicate, and in language teaching, it's such a great way to collaborate with other classes in a global way around a project, make a film script, organize it, who's doing what, who's doing the recording and editing. And today the internet connection is much better, and
Yeah.
through all the and free tools, and we have YouTube. It is great, and it's very
Mm-hmm.
simple in that way. But I'm very much advocating that step one is to make a photo story, and you put text and you put voiceover and so on.
Yeah.
And then next level is doing a machinima where you are working with live footage in a virtual environment. So yes. So
Yeah,
it
I
got it.
remember you made me make a photo story, my first photo story, and it was good. You taught me how to do it. That was fantastic, and it was a good intro into machinima making. Yeah, that was really good.
At least I have a vision about e-twinning. It's sad that it's not possible to go through there to well, to sell the possibilities of making machinima in that area. Um, it's a slow process,
Well,
and that's
one
what.
of our Camelot trainees who was on the teacher training course to learn how to make machinima, he was a scientist. I mean, he taught physics and things like that, and he was involved in an e-twinning project, and he produced machinima for his classes and shared them with this with his project partners, and they even won a prize. His school won a prize for that. So it is possible.
Yes, yes, I think I know who you are thinking about.
Yeah,
That Portuguese
yeah,
teacher.
exactly. Uh-huh.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Uh, but for instance, there are many other. You can also at some of the simulations, math land or science land in Second Life.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be only land. It's a
Exactly.
fantastic that you have many scenery you can create
Yeah.
or you can go to
Hmm.
where you can simulate things, which normally
Absolutely.
is a big problem. You
Yeah.
can even have like a lab. You can do science,
Hmm.
chemistry, and things with where you
Hmm.
can you can make like the flipped classroom is very popular. That you make like an introduction to things,
Hmm.
uh, but so I
Yeah.
think the
So you
thing that
see the
maybe.
potential. And so I think there are still a lot of opportunities to carry on. And I think your idea of e-twinning, that's a good idea and should be followed further.